Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. Here we are again doing a tarot read all around the astrological weather, specifically this new moon incoming in the sign of Aries. We have a huge stellium in Aries right now. If you don't know where Aries falls in your chart, it would be great to figure that out. If anybody is interested in learning more about where it does fall in their chart, you can always reach out to me on Instagram. You can direct message me there. That's probably the best way to get me, the fastest way. Or comment, you can comment below here in the chat and we can connect. But anyway, I actually have been feeling like I've been going through a big ego death. I think maybe a lot of other people can relate because of all this Aries energy. It's basically forcing us into a rebirth. This rebirth energy. So, wherever we have been feeling in stagnancy could be a really rude awakening, wake-up call right now. And this past week for me, with being a Virgo rising and this all happening in my 8th house, it does feel very plutonic for me. But anyway, I don't know if anybody can relate, if there's any Virgo risings out there, but like I said, I think all in all, there's a lot of endings and therefore beginnings, right? We are being forced to be in a new beginning. And so I think that the question tonight, I think, would be, how can we be in the world in the way we choose to be? And I feel like this is a very strong Aries testament of individuality, really operating from this really strong sense of identity with our inner world, with our soul, spirit, life. Even though, Aries might have a lot of ambition and is very ambitious, this is not so much about other people's versions of success. I feel like this is about our own personal mythos and how we are conquering these small battles every day. And so just sending peace and healing through the Divine Mother, through the benevolent energy of the universe to send some healing grace your way, because it hasn't been easy, and I don't know if it's going to get much easier with Mars moving into a conjunction with Saturn this weekend. But it's been a pretty intense lineup. Right now we have Chiron in conjunction with the Sun, and so that's definitely part of the energetics here for the new moon. But why don't we just get right into it? And I think that being said, about kind of more of the martial energy, right? Mars energy. How can we replenish our hearts, right? So maybe we can ask the cards, how can we be our authentic selves in the world? How can we do this? Give us some insights. And how can we replenish our hearts and bring more joy and play? Because I think ultimately, if we are living an authentic life, it's a sense of freedom that we can feel. And with Uranus moving into Gemini, I'm not sure what I was going to say about that, but we can cover that probably on another video. But that is strong incoming too. Uranus is moving into, is ingressing into the sign of Gemini. So right now, Uranus is moving into a trine with Pluto. So there's, again, a lot of transformation in the air, and a sense of, liberation. There's with Uranus and Pluto, this is big movements towards some real deep change and hopefully inspiration. So why don't we just get right into it and see what the cards have to tell us? And I've already done the shuffle, so what I'll do here is I'm going to cut the deck to see where we're at here. All right. So this is, I believe this is a Saturn card, actually. I think this is Saturn in Sagittarius. But yeah, this is fire. This is mutable fire here. And when we think about Jupiter, Jupiter is somewhat in a square to this new moon, right? Jupiter is in the sign of Cancer and is moving direct and was prominent in the full moon, the Libra full moon. Jupiter. Jupiter, I think that with all this fire, I think a sense of bringing things together, there's just so much coming to the surface for our realization, for our awareness, for our truth, for our greater sense of where we want to be. Having some understanding of it isn't necessarily coming easy. Actually, it's not actually where the energy is. The energy is much more intuitive and instinctual, but understanding, I think, will come on what sort of burdens we're choosing to leave behind and what we're willing to sacrifice to pick up, right? The subtle art of not giving a fuck to what we're gonna let go of, right? It's okay. No one's gonna be mad at you. You can let that burden go, right? So what right now does feel like a burden? What are the cosmos telling you right now with this heavy Aries energy? What is it saying to you? Where does there need to be change and transformation, right? How are we being forced into a rebirth, right? Okay. This is the energy that's crossing our path, and I was just talking to a friend before this reading. We just can't wait till the sun moves into Taurus. So Venus right now has already moved on. She's in the sign of Taurus right now, and so that's very prominent. Actually, there is a Venusian quality to the third decan of Aries, and so again, it's this idea of how can we replenish our hearts and bring more play. I think we need to. I think it's easy to lose connection to the body. Aries energy is very headstrong. The Empress also, the Taurus energy coming in can really be beautiful because moving out of the Aries energy of the force and the direction that we're moving through, like being very aware of that, is going to shift into being in a more receptive yin state. And I think that that's great. I think that with all this fire, connecting with water and connecting with earth is really going to be helpful for our nervous systems and our sense of well-being and being able to continue with this. Mercury just moved into the sign of Aries. We're going to still have this Aries energy for a little bit longer. And of course, the outer planets, Neptune and Saturn, are in Aries. So yeah. And yeah. So with everything moving out of Pisces, we're going to feel that lack of water. Yeah. So again, with this Jupiter energy, did I mention Jupiter? Right. Sagittarius. Right. The Sagittarius. It's like, how are we feeling in our mind body? How are we feeling in the environment of our mind body? That's something to really be conscious of. Yeah. So the Page of Cups. So something could really, a strong desire could be coming through, right? A strong desire could be coming through. It's maybe a little shaky, on the shaky side. It's a little bit uncertain. But I think that this is top of mind, really thinking about what our desires are as these conflicts are coming in Aries season. It's actually clarifying. Conflict isn't bad. It helps clarify. And I think that we could be clarifying, right, through the cosmos telling us, what what burdens we want to let go of. There is a new inspiration coming, right? Right. It's very new. Very new. It's basically like the Ace of Cups, it's like that hand outstretched. There's an offering here, right? Okay. So we have the south, we do have the south node in Virgo. We have these this last several months. Yeah, well, till August, we're gonna have the south node still in Virgo. I think that we need to let go of really being obsessed with how we're going to get to where we want to be, like getting so obsessed with the security that we forget to allow, right? These are both earth signs, right? Taurus and Virgo energy. I think the Virgo energy is showing us again where we have overburdened ourselves, where we have put on way too much on us, and we're allowed to put that down, right? But this is kind of underlying our motivations, is this feeling of where can we feel safety and where can we feel security, right? But taking on too much, I don't know if that's really the way to go, right? It's not the way to go to have security, right? It's to work smart. Anyway, work smarter. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, we could be really be moving away from something that felt really overbearing and too controlling, right? Just in the way that this could be a strong authority figure. I mean, the emperor would be, but this is kind of a symbol of all the fire signs, right? And we are in this Aries season. We don't have much other fire than, oh yeah, all the planets. This will be moving away at some point, right? But I think that we are being initiated into the element of fire in a very big way, and so there really very well could be some mastery, but it's about the right use of power, right? And I think we all are feeling this on the world stage, but it is about the right use of power. So yeah, right, that we don't burn out, that kind of facilitated by our inner critic, this kind of authority, this inner authority, that is not really sustaining. But yeah, so let's see what else. Oh yeah, wow. I mean, this could be Leo season. This is another big movement of transformation. We have, the eclipses. We have Pluto making some movement there, right? With the sun, there's going to be fire and air. Yes, Pluto's going to be activated. Yep. So again, how are we staying courageous, because I think that Aries season is about being courageous, right? So we can be identifying where we're really feeling fear and anxiety, and paying close attention to those patterns right now, because I think that we're going to have to step up more and more in leadership in our life, right? As the inner authority, but also as a beacon and light for others. I think this is going to happen more and more. We're gonna need each other to move through this level of consciousness, this dense level of consciousness that is the current state. And obviously, there's the dark and the light, right? There is actually an abundance of light, right? There actually really is, right? The world, the laws are, right, that the law of balance. And so there is a lot of light for us to see and to cultivate in ourselves. And I think that that's really where it starts, right? Yep. Such an Aries thing. Right. There was something else I wanted to say about that, but maybe it will come through again. So, okay, so that's kind of the layout here, right? The courage, where the fear is, right? How do we move through and past the fear? Because these are old programs, right? How do we break through the fear? Oh, yeah, so more Virgo energy. Yeah, desire is not enough. Desire alone isn't enough. Right, the beginning of something initiating here is going to take work, and I think you're willing to do that. We have a strong Saturn here. Well, actually, we have a debilitated Saturn, but I think Saturn is maybe not doing the checks, doing the usual checks of boundaries. So there could be a sense of really feeling like, hey, this can happen and this can work and we can do this, right? So that's a good thing, I think. Okay. The importance of the lunar energy came in the last reading too, and so yeah, the moon's in Aries, right? But I think in general, this is perhaps also speaking to the Jupiter energy and Jupiter in Cancer, and this idea of resourcing, being resourced, and safety. Right, and this, it also plays into fear, right? So the safety, where are we feeling safe? Where are we safe to be who we are? So we have Chiron, here, the wounded healer, conjunct the sun. So yeah, these are deep emotions that could be coming up right now, and I don't know. This is a very intense initiation here. Yeah. For sure. At least I'm feeling it. With this 8th house stellium in Aries. God. Get me out of here. But what it's going to lead to is growth, right? The Ace of Wands. It's the phallus, it's the phallus that's the Mars energy. If you look at the glyph of Mars, it's that circle with the arrow. There is a very clear direction here, and or at least if we should look for it to utilize this Aries energy, is to find the direction, the clear direction, because I think it's gonna get you far. And even if there are missteps and things that are considered quote unquote failures, again, this is about our perception of what success is, right? Not some other person's version of success. And sometimes it's a lot of trial and error, but if you're really focused on what it is, right, with the fortitude and the courage and the transcendence of fear. 2, courage is acting in spite of fear, right? Wow, okay. My mind, it's kind of interesting because my mind isn't really tuned in, and it has been an intense Aries season, and the last 2 weeks have been, since the full moon, has been really challenging. It's a dark moon right now too. I did have some wine tonight, not so much to get me drunk, but wow, but Mercury is conjunct Neptune right now, and so really the rational, logical mind isn't necessarily totally tuned in. So just trying to zero in on what is coming through, right? So this is the last card. This Cancer, it's a Cancer card again. That this could really be union of self, right? Union of self. If we're thinking about how can we be in the world in the way we choose to be, is when the inner and the outer are the same, right? That, people talk about the marriage, right? The marriage is partly that, right? We think about the marriage as the masculine and feminine. But it's the polarity and the duality in all things, right? But yeah, the inner, the basically the outer is indistinguishable to the inner. And I think that is the beauty of Aries season, is the truth that we can, like the unapologetic truth that we can live out. And so I think that is the message. That is really truly the message, right? That is enough. Again, this idea of attaining, it's actually just starting the journey, right? So the last card I'm going to pull here, I hope you got something out of this. I'm going to pull another card to kind of bring it all together. And this is basically the Hero's Journey deck, right? So you probably have heard this a lot of people talking about, like be the hero. And this is all about the hero's journey, Aries. And it is, it is the hero, right? How are you being the hero of your life? Might as well just do that one. Ooh. Okay. Beautiful. I feel like the whale came through the other day. Whale of a time. Your charge is to enlarge. Wow. Beautiful. I think that the message is also community. I feel like the whale song, that's really beautiful too. I mean, it's about taking up space for sure. Take up space. That's the thing I'm getting here. But also with the union, but also if we can just take it a step further and talk about, the interpersonal, that once we get right with ourselves, we can get right with the other. But whales are just, I think that they're very interesting as far as the collective symbolism, the songs that they create. Music could be probably really healing for you. Sound medicine, sound journeying. That could probably help you move through the density and the fear. And really the density is just the old. And so just be aware that it is those old programs that are playing out, and to try to spend time really bringing in the trust and the acting in spite of, and eventually that pattern can be broken to establish a new pattern. So just doing a vision board probably would be really powerful right now for this particular new moon. Okay, that's all I have for tonight for this new moon. Definitely leave some comments on the chat or comment section if you feel like you are in in a place of transformation and rebirth. I'd love to hear about it. So until next time, I hope you move through the energies with so much love and ease and grace.